Well, hello, thank you for joining me today again on the Church History Trail. You're very welcome to the programme. And where we are is, we're actually at the bridge here in GLENAVY village. And big lot of history here. There's a connection here with St Patrick, also with the Williamites, and also with the 1798 rebellion. And so that's what we're going to take a look at today. Now, where those trees are, there's a few houses. On the other side of those houses is a road. And it was at the end of that road there, coming down to where this bridge is, where the road is here, the other, just at the bridge. Patrick had a church here in this vicinity. And so, I'm going to go for a wee walk, and we will hopefully end up in the St Aidan's Parish Church yard. And also I'll be able to show you, hopefully, a few 18th century graves. But first we'll have to get out of here. That's amazing, isn't it? You can hear the echo. Beautiful. So we're going to make our way up this wee bit of hill here and over the river, or over the stream that leads into the river. You can see another bridge there. So I'm not going to start the commentary until I'm on good, firm and level ground. This is the walkway here, big bit of concrete. Just have to be careful here. But certainly GLENAVY is a lovely village. And it's in County Antrim. So you'll get a better view here of the bridge. Isn't that lovely? So now what we have to navigate is this thing here, this pier, if we can. It was hard enough getting down this with my bad knees, let alone trying to get up, but we will give it a good go anyway, if we can, so you'll have to bear with me here, I'm afraid. Well, we've got one leg up anyway, so we should get the other one up. Where one goes, the other will follow. So that's looking up the centre of the village there, where that bus is coming down. Now, as I say, this village has a big connection with Patrick, and GLENAVY stands on two hills and is divided into two parts by the river that I just showed you. And there in the distance you can see the present parish church, St Aidan's. And then lining that the whole way up to the gate, to the entrance, are lovely trees on each side. So as I say, GLENAVY is divided by that river that I just showed you. And GLENAVY, as I say, goes back to the time of St Patrick. Now, Patrick saw many people saved here and baptised, and he also founded a church here in this, literally in this area. And this is where it was, in this area here. Now, whether it was on this side of the river or that side of the river, I'm not too sure. I think it could have been the other side of the river, but I'm not 100% sure. But certainly it was in this area. It was at the end of the Pigeon Town Road, and it was close to the banks of the river, so I would assume that it was on the other side of the river, because I'm going to show you the Pigeon Town Road here, and you will sort of get the topography of the land. So basically, that's the Pigeon Town Road over there, where that car's just passing now. So that's the Pigeon Town Road, and as you can see, the Pigeon Town Road is very close to the banks of the river. So the church was in this area somewhere, possibly even maybe where that house was, but definitely in this vicinity. So GLENAVY means the church of the dwarf, or as Daniel became known, Patrick's dwarf, because that's who it was named after. Supposedly Patrick had put Daniel, who was a dwarf, in charge of the running of the church, and so that's supposedly, anyway, had got its name. So that's the Pigeon Town Road, the end of it just over there where those signs are. So this vicinity here is where the church of Patrick, or the church of the dwarf as it was known, was said to be. Now there you can see somebody's used their initiative. And out of those working material, they have made picnic table and chairs. The only thing is, I think that might be a wee bit too small for me to get up with my dodgy knees, so I'll not chance it. Now, the old church at GLENAVY was a plain stone edifice with rough cast, and it was without a tower or a spire, and it stood immediately in front of the south wall of the present building, or the building at least that I showed you there. Now above the door was inscribed 1664, so that's the first reference that they have to it, is 1664. Now a new church had its foundation laid on the 12th of June 1812, and the doors were opened to the congregation on the 24th of April 1814, but there was a fire in this church, and so it had to be rebuilt. But I will take you down and show you the plaque that talks about that. That's the church there, St. Aidan's. So basically just over here in this area is where the church of St. Patrick's was. Possibly even where that house is now, but certainly in this vicinity. And I would say over on the other side of the river rather than this side, but I'm not 100% about that. I'm just going by the information that I'm reading and trying to interpret it. You can see all the bird boxes there. So what we're doing now is we're actually looking down the Pigeon Town Road, which is the other side of that wall there. So fantastic, isn't it? Now, the old church had escaped the ravages of King James's army in 1689 because probably as it was covered by forests, because there was a lot of forests here in this area at one time, and so they probably didn't even see it, and so that's probably why it survived. But there is an interesting piece of history from this period in the form of a silver chalice paten, or in other words a plate, which was presented by the officers of a detachment of the Duke of Schomberg's army to the parish church. To show their appreciation for the kindness shown them when they were quartered here in the area of GLENAVY. So I'm going to take you through this, so make sure you duck, bow your head, or you'll hit them trees. The places I go for my YouTubers. Well, that was pretty painless, wasn't it? Now, the officers were from the Queen's Regiment of Horse, and they were commanded by the Honourable Major General St John Lanier, and that was in the year 1690, where this regiment served both at the Battle of the Boyne, which was in 1690, and also the Battle of Acre, 1691. So, not sure if they were billeted here in 1689 or 1690, possibly 1690, on their way to the Battle of the Boyne, I would assume. But there's also a 1798 rebellion connection with this area as well. So, fantastic history, no doubt about it. So the 1798 rebellion affected much of the countryside near GLENAVY. The nearest recorded incident seems to have been the looting and burning by the yeomanry troops of the Montgomery family home at Bolton O'Connell in the parish of Killeed as a punishment for their sympathy with the United Irishmen. So, big history here. So what I'm going to do now is going to show you the church, St Aidan's. Read a wee bit of information. It's not much, it's just a plaque. Tells you about the fire. Then I'm going to finish off by showing you some 18th century graves, and then I'm going to show you that wee entrance way where the trees are that I mentioned. So that's the church there. St Aidan's in GLENAVY. There's a tomb there that has seen better days. I'm sure you will agree. So that's the church. So as you can see, there's a wee bit of information there, which I'm going to read out to you. It says that this church was destroyed by fire in 1938 AD. AD there means in the year of our Lord. And it was rebuilt in 1939 AD. Of course, the original church didn't have a tower and also didn't have a spire either. How you doing? How are you? So I'm gonna show you some graves here, some 18th century graves, and then we'll go through the lynch gate, should I say, and then I'll show you that avenue of trees, and then that's us. We're gonna wrap this wee video up. I didn't think there was any 18th century graves in here, but it turns out that there actually is. This is a rather long video. I don't normally do them as long as this, but it's very enjoyable, the history here. So these graves here, now this one's from the 19th century, it's 1815. Here lies the body of George Irving. I think that is, or Irvin of Dundonald. So he's a wee bit away. Who departed this life 29th of December 1815, I think that is. 32 years. And then that one is, here left the body of Alex Nielsen. The F there's actually an S. It's the old way of writing S, believe it or believe it not. So it can be confusing. If I can find it, there's there. So you can see that that's an F, but it's not an F, it's actually an S. So Nielsen, who departed this life February 1756, if you can see that. That's plain. And he was aged 46 years. Also his son Rob Nielsen. You see why the F now has changed till an S there? If you can see that, it's actually changed till an F. I'll try and point it out to you. You'll have to see if my finger goes in the way, but I think you get the gist of it. So it's an S there, but yet when it's wrote up there, it's an F. Who departed this life March, and that's 1786. So that one is 1786, as you can see. And then the other one is harder to make out. But I think it was 1756, if I remember rightly. Just hard to see that. I'd have to recheck that. Now there's it there, 1766. 1766. The rest is harder to make out. So there's another grave here I'm going to show you, if I can find it, which is also 18th century. And it's this one here. Very hard to read now, but you can see the date, 1773. 1773. So I'm going to take you, show you the Lynch Gate, and then I'll show you the trees, and then that'll be us finished. This is coming up in 20 minutes, this video. How you doing?
Hello there, you alright?
So this is what you call a Lynch Gate, and what they used to do with these was, if there was a heavy frost and it was too hard to dig, what they done was they'd have left the coffin underneath these until the ground would have thawed somewhat, and then it was easier for to dig, and so they would have buried them. You get quite a lot of these. I've videoed quite a lot of these gates. It's good to still have them. And then that's the avenue of trees that I showed you earlier. So it's a lovely wee walk there up to the gate, as you can see. Beautiful, isn't it? Loads of history here, folks. Get yourself down here if you're into your history and you live nearby and you're bored. Get yourself down here and do a wee bit of history, a wee bit of church history. So there you go, folks. So that's St. Aidan's Church. So thanks for watching, and God bless.